Uh-oh.
Lady, go!
I must be myself. I cannot break myself any longer for you. If you can love me for what I am, we shall be the happier. If you cannot, I will still seek to deserve that you should. The great 19th century American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson believed that to flourish, we must be a nonconformist. If we just think as others think and do as others do, we limit our potential and place our health or sickness at the mercy of social forces beyond our control. In this video, we are going to explore the dangers of conformity, what nonconformity meant for Emerson, and how the nonconformist acts as a force of good in a society gone mad. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist, wrote Emerson. To be a conformist is to orient our life around the dominant norms, values, and ideals of our society. It is to allow the boundaries and templates of our culture to shape our sense of self. Most of us become conformists without reflecting on what we are doing. We see everyone around us conforming, and so it feels natural to do the same. But conformity comes at a price, or as Emerson stated in a lecture given in 1844, I pay a destructive tax in my conformity. In any society, only certain character traits are favored by the trends of conformity, while many others, which may be healthy in their own right, are looked upon with indifference or disdain. In our day, for example, extroversion is favored over introversion, obedience over disobedience, and risk aversion over risk-taking. Some people may find their inner nature fits the mold of conformity, but many will find the opposite. For those of us in the latter group, conformity is akin to wearing a mask made to fit the mold of another's face. The mask of conformity never feels comfortable, and at times it may cause us to feel like a fraud or imposter. Conformity also leads to waste. Wasted time, wasted opportunities, and wasted resources. In the need to satisfy others and maintain appearances, we do things we do not value, say things we do not believe, and obtain things we do not need. Or as Emerson writes, custom gives me no power therefrom, and runs me in debt to boot. We spend our income for 100 trifles, I know not what, and not for the things of a man. Our expense is almost all for conformity. But the dangers of conformity reach pathological levels when, as in our day, a society becomes infected with lies. Politicians lie almost as frequently as they open their mouths. A degenerate education system teaches lies on topics ranging from science to history, ethics, economics, and politics. The media lies about world events, while corporations lie to us about the value or safety of their products. With no shortage of lies percolating throughout society, the modern path of conformity leads in errant ways. It encourages us to go into debt to buy things we don't need, to consume unhealthy foods, to be obedient to those in power, to take pharmaceutical drugs that do more harm than good, to eschew our passion in favor of money or social status. And if we ever feel anxious or depressed, the conformist way is to distract ourselves with screens or to numb ourselves with psychotropic drugs. All goes well as long as you run with conformists, writes Emerson, but you, who are an honest man in other particulars, know that there is alive somewhere a man whose honesty reaches to this point also, that he shall not kneel to false gods, and, on the day when you meet him, you sink into the class of counterfeits. If you take in a lie, you must take in all that belongs to it. To be a nonconformist in the modern world is to renounce the lies that shape our society and to renounce the self that has been shaped by these lies. This act of renunciation paves the way for self-transformation, or as Emerson writes, the man who renounces himself comes to himself. When we abandon the habits of conformity and stop pursuing its ideals, we clear the way for the emergence of a more authentic state of being. We take off the false mask of conformity and permit our individual personality to shine through. But our renunciation should not be limited to self-renunciation. We should also renounce our affiliation with organizations and institutions that are infiltrated by the lies of our society. For a nonconformist, according to Emerson, must stand under his or her own banner, not the banner of another. It It is only as a man puts off all foreign support and stands alone that I see him to be strong and to prevail. He is weaker by every recruit to his banner. Along with the act of renunciation, the nonconformist must establish a new direction in life, as merely rejecting conformist ways without replacing them with something new will leave us in a pit of aimless and meaningless despair. We need new pursuits to keep us occupied, new habits to keep our life structured, and new goals to give us direction. In the process of reorienting our life, we should work with what nature has granted us, as it is by cultivating our strengths and talents and aligning our life around pursuits we enjoy that we unleash our power and pave the way for a great life. Or as Emerson writes, there is a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that though the wide universe is full of good, no kernel of nourishing corn can come to him but through his toil bestowed on that plot of ground which is given to him to till. The power which resides in him is new in nature, and none but he knows what that is which he can do, nor does he know until he has tried. If conformity has led us astray and we don't know where truth lies or what the plot of ground we are meant to till consists of, spending time in solitude can help correct for this confusion. Away from the chatter and distraction of other minds, solitude can help us understand who we are and what we want from life. There are voices, wrote Emerson, which we hear in solitude that grow faint and inaudible as we enter into the world. Emerson, however, while valuing solitude, did not believe the nonconformist should be a recluse. To flourish as a nonconformist is to strike the optimal balance between solitude and society. We must learn to live in harmony with others without an excessive need to gain their approval or to mimic their errant ways, or as Emerson put it, solitude is impracticable, and society fatal. We must keep our head in the one and our hands in the other. The conditions are met if we keep our independence, yet do not lose our sympathy. Many people recognize the sickness of modern society, but few choose a path of nonconformity as the means of escape. One reason for this is fear, and specifically a fear of ridicule and rejection. The nonconformist must overcome this fear, or at least learn that constructive, nonconformist action can be taken even when consumed by fear. What I must do is all that concerns me, writes Emerson, not what the people think. This rule may serve for the whole distinction between greatness and meanness. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. But the great man is he who in the midst of the crowd keeps with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. In learning to deal with ridicule and rejection, it can be helpful to recognize a constructive value to this experience. Not only does it provide us with an opportunity to cultivate the courage of acting in the face of our fears, but furthermore, those who treat us with contempt sometimes reveal truths of our character that those who care for us are too timid to point out. But even if the ridicule is not constructive, even if it is based on envy or lies, we can use the disapproval of others as motivating fuel that impels us to greater heights. And as Emerson writes, dear to us are those who love us. The swift moments we spend with them are a compensation for a great deal of misery. They enlarge our life. But dearer are those who reject us as unworthy, for they add another life. They build a heaven before us whereof we had not dreamed, and thereby supply to us new powers out of the recesses of the spirit, and urge us to new and unattempted performances. If we learn to conquer the fear of ridicule and rejection, we will possess a crucial skill in the art of nonconformity. But there is another barrier that prevents many from going the way of a nonconformist, and this is laziness. To cultivate our own path through life requires hard work, discipline, and a ruthless persistence of action. For Emerson's nonconformist is not passive. He is an active agent striving to change the world. Once the nonconformist selects a valuable goal, he sticks to it, and is not driven off course merely because a bunch of conformists disapprove of his ways. Or as Emerson writes, all men have wandering impulses, fits and starts of generosity, but when you have chosen your part, abide by it. and do not weakly try to reconcile yourself with the world, or as he writes elsewhere, if you would serve your brother because it is fit for you to serve him, do not take back your words when you find that prudent people do not commend you. Adhere to your own act, and congratulate yourself if you have done something strange and extravagant, and broken the monotony of a decorous age. It was a high counsel that I once heard given to a young person. Always do what you are afraid to do. Following a nonconformist path will make us healthier, happier, and more powerful, but it will also turn us into a force of good in the world. For the inner state of our being manifests the events of the outer world, or as Emerson put it, a man will see his character emitted in the events that seem to meet him, but which exude from and accompany him. Conformists, in living by lies, are manifesting a sick society. The nonconformist, in aligning himself with the truth of his inner nature and the truth of the world, will manifest events that act as the antidote to a world gone mad. In the thought of tomorrow there is a power to upheave all the creeds of the nations, and marshal thee to a heaven which no epic dream has yet depicted. Every man is not so much a workman in the world, as he is a suggestion of that he should be. Men walk as prophecies of the next age.
Have you ever felt weighed down by the expectations of society, or been caught up in a whirlwind of worries about things beyond your control? If the answer is yes, then you're not alone. Many of us spend our lives caught in the trap of caring too much about things that, at the end of the day, might not matter as much as we think they do. But what if there were a way to break free from this cycle? A way to navigate life with more serenity and a clear mind? This approach, the art of not caring, is not about apathy or disregard for others, but rather, it's about focusing our care and attention where it truly matters, on things within our control, and letting go of the rest. But what exactly do we mean by not caring? In the philosophical sense, not caring doesn't mean complete detachment or lack of concern. It means liberating ourselves from the societal pressures, the fears of the unknown, the worries about what we can't control, and the anxiety over others' judgments. The art of not caring encourages us to focus our energy on our actions, our responses, and our attitudes, rather than expending mental and emotional energy on things outside our realm of control. It's about recognizing our boundaries and deciding what truly warrants our care, our effort, and our passion. It's about learning to embrace uncertainty, accept the impermanence of life, and still live joyfully in the present moment. If you've ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, if you've ever wished you could let go of anxieties that hold you back, or if you're just curious about different philosophical perspectives on happiness, it's time to venture on a philosophical journey of self-discovery and learn the art of letting go to live a happier, more fulfilling life. On this exploration, it's important to first set the stage by delving into the intrinsic link between philosophy and happiness. What role does philosophy play in defining and understanding happiness? Philosophy in its essence is the love of wisdom. It's an exploration of fundamental questions about existence, reality, knowledge, values, reason, and crucially for our discussion today, happiness. Philosophers across ages and cultures have grappled with the question of what happiness is and how it can be achieved. From ancient Greek philosophers to modern-day thinkers, the quest for understanding happiness has always been at the heart of philosophical inquiry. Happiness is a concept that, on the surface, appears simple and universal. But once you dig deeper, it reveals a multidimensional nature that is deeply subjective and complex. Our understanding of happiness is usually tied to our personal experiences, cultural background, and societal expectations. However, when we shift our focus from a personal lens to the broad vista of philosophy, the meaning of happiness expands and deepens. So, how do different philosophical perspectives view happiness? Let's start with the ancient Greeks. For Aristotle, one of the most influential philosophers of all time, happiness wasn't a fleeting emotion or a state of momentary joy. He proposed the concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or the good life. For Aristotle, happiness was about living a life of virtue and wisdom, fulfilling one's potential, and contributing to society. It wasn't about chasing pleasure, but about cultivating a rich inner life. In contrast, the philosopher Epicurus viewed happiness as the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. However, Epicurean philosophy doesn't advocate hedonistic indulgence. Epicurus emphasized the simple, natural pleasures in life like friendship, intellectual pursuits, and peace of mind. Fast forward to the 17th and 18th centuries during the Age of Enlightenment, and we encounter utilitarian philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. They proposed that happiness is about maximizing pleasure for the greatest number of people, forming the basis of their moral and ethical guidelines. In the 19th century, Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, offered a less optimistic view. He believed that life is filled with suffering and happiness is merely the absence of this suffering. Schopenhauer's philosophy advocates for reducing desires to minimize disappointment and pain, giving a different spin on our understanding of happiness. Then we have the existentialists of the 20th century like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus, who believed that life inherently has no meaning, and it's up to each individual to create their own purpose and define their own happiness. They rejected societal norms and encouraged authenticity and personal freedom. And we can't forget the Eastern philosophical traditions like Buddhism, which teaches that happiness is achieved through the elimination of desire and attachment, leading to a state of inner peace and enlightenment. What's evident from these various philosophical perspectives is that happiness isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It is deeply personal and intricately woven with our values, choices, and understanding of the world. Different philosophies offer different pathways to happiness, whether it's through virtue, pleasure, the absence of pain, personal freedom, or spiritual enlightenment. In today's exploration of the art of not caring, we will see how letting go of certain cares aligns with these diverse philosophical perspectives on happiness. It's about finding a balanced and thoughtful approach to what we choose to care about, ultimately leading us towards a fulfilling and content life. It's crucial to remember that philosophy doesn't provide ready-made answers, but guides us in asking the right questions. As we delve deeper into the art of not caring, let's keep an open mind, challenge our preconceptions, and allow these diverse philosophical teachings to enlighten our understanding of happiness. Let's set forth on this intriguing journey, drawing lessons from famous philosophers and their profound insights into happiness. Now let's turn our attention to Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that has regained popularity in recent years for its profound wisdom and practical insights into living a good life. Stoicism was founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC, but it was the later Stoic philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius whose teachings have stood the test of time and continue to resonate with us today. Stoicism is a philosophy of personal ethics that emphasizes virtue, reason, and self-discipline. It teaches that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what's within our power and let go of what's not, providing a powerful framework for the art of not caring. This brings us to the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a former slave-turned philosopher, articulated this principle eloquently in his Enchiridion, or handbook. He wrote, "Some things are within our power while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing." This profound dichotomy reminds us to invest our time, energy, and emotions in areas of our life we can control, and practice indifference or not caring about the rest. This is not an encouragement towards passivity or neglect of responsibilities. Instead, it invites us to discern the things that are truly significant and worthy of our attention and care. It's about choosing not to be disturbed by life's uncontrollables, hence preserving our peace of mind and aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe, a core Stoic principle. Stoicism's embodiment of the art of not caring can be seen in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. As a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius had an abundance of power and influence, yet his writings reflect an understanding of the fleeting nature of these external goods. He wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." He often emphasized the importance of inner peace and tranquility over external achievements or recognition, embodying the Stoic art of not caring about things outside our control. Seneca, another influential Stoic philosopher, further exemplifies this principle in his letters. He taught that we should remain indifferent to external circumstances, not allowing ourselves to be excessively disturbed by adversity or overly excited by prosperity. In one of his letters, he wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing." By practicing Stoic principles, we learn to not care about the ever-changing circumstances of our lives and instead focus on cultivating our character, wisdom, and virtue. We learn to be content with what we have, undisturbed by external happenings, and at peace with the world. The art of not caring in the Stoic sense is not about being indifferent to everything. It's about knowing where to best direct our care and attention for a fulfilling and tranquil life. Now, we move from the Stoic school of thought to the garden of Epicurus. Epicurus, an ancient Greek philosopher who founded the school of philosophy known as Epicureanism, offers another perspective on the art of not caring. Contrary to common misconceptions, Epicureanism isn't about indulging in physical pleasures or leading a life of luxury. Instead, it's about understanding the nature of pleasure and desire and leading a life of tranquility, freedom, and friendship. Epicurus taught that pleasure is the highest good and the end goal of life, but he also emphasized that not all pleasures are worth pursuing. He differentiated between kinetic pleasures, which arise from satisfying a desire, and katastematic pleasures, which are the peaceful state of contentment when we are free from pain and desire. According to Epicurus, the best life is one where we can maintain a state of katastematic pleasure, enjoying the simple joys of life without being constantly driven by desires. A significant aspect of Epicureanism, related to the art of not caring, is its stance on societal expectations and material desires. Epicurus advocated for a simple life, away from the hustle and bustle of Athenian society. He believed that many of our desires, such as the desire for wealth, fame, or power, are instilled in us by societal expectations and are neither natural nor necessary. These desires, according to Epicurus, often lead to more pain than pleasure, as they are insatiable, and keep us in a constant state of want. Epicurus famously wrote, "If thou wilt make a man happy, add not unto his riches, but take away from his desires." This insightful perspective encourages us to not care about the pursuit of material wealth or societal status, and instead focus on cultivating inner tranquility and fostering meaningful relationships. Another fascinating teaching from Epicurus is his view on fear, particularly the fear of death. He argued that death is nothing to us, as when we exist, death is not, and when death exists, we are not. By dispelling the fear of death, Epicurus encourages us to not care about this inevitable aspect of life, allowing us to live more freely and joyfully in the present moment. So, how can these principles lead to a happier life? By understanding the nature of our desires, distinguishing between necessary and unnecessary ones, and learning to manage them effectively, we can achieve a state of contentment and inner peace. By choosing not to care about societal expectations or the fear of death, we liberate ourselves from unnecessary worries and anxieties, creating room for true joy and tranquility. Through Epicureanism, we learn that happiness doesn't come from external possessions or status, but from an inner state of peace, free from pain and turmoil. This philosophy teaches us to celebrate the simple pleasures of life, friendship, thought, and freedom from fear and desire, giving us a valuable perspective on the art of not caring. The Epicurean way of life invites us to rethink our values and desires, to let go of societal expectations and needless worries, and to embrace the simple and enduring pleasures of life. As we further our journey, let's carry these insights from Epicurus with us. Let's appreciate the role of pleasure and desire in our lives, and learn to care less about things that don't contribute to our lasting happiness. As we continue this philosophical exploration of the art of not caring, we journey next to the 19th century Denmark and meet Søren Kierkegaard, widely recognized as the father of existentialism. Kierkegaard, unlike the philosophers we've discussed so far, lived in a completely different era and cultural context. Kierkegaard's existential philosophy focuses on the individual, their emotions, freedom, choice, and subjective existence. He believed that truth is subjective and that each individual must navigate the complexities of life independently. His writings present a deep dive into human psychology, exploring themes of anxiety, despair, and the quest for meaning. One of Kierkegaard's most famous concepts is the leap of faith. In the face of life's uncertainties and paradoxes, Kierkegaard proposed that one must make a leap of faith into the religious life to find purpose and overcome despair. Now, while the leap of faith has religious connotations, especially in Kierkegaard's writings, the underlying concept extends beyond the religious sphere. It's about embracing uncertainty, about having the courage to make decisions without full knowledge of what the outcome might be. So much of our daily stress and anxiety stems from uncertainty. We fret about the future, worry about the unpredictable, and struggle to make decisions when we can't foresee the consequences. But what if we choose to not care about this uncertainty? What if we take that leap of faith, accept the uncertainty, and make our choices with conviction and courage? Kierkegaard wrote, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." In the context of our discussion, this quote is a reminder that while we can reflect on our past experiences to gain understanding and wisdom, we can't predict or control the future. Thus, choosing to not care about future uncertainties doesn't mean being reckless or indifferent to outcomes. Instead, it's about freeing ourselves from the paralyzing fear of the unknown, allowing us to live fully in the present and act according to our values and beliefs. Embracing Kierkegaard's leap of faith could lead us to greater happiness by liberating us from the burdens of anxiety and fear. When we stop caring excessively about the uncertainties, we can focus our energy on the present moment and on the actions that align with our values. By doing so, we give ourselves the freedom to lead an authentic life, one where we are not constantly overwhelmed by what might happen in the future. Kierkegaard's existential philosophy invites us to reflect deeply on our individual existence, our anxieties, and our freedom. His concept of the leap of faith provides us with a strategy to deal with life's uncertainties, not by attempting to predict or control the future, but by courageously embracing these uncertainties and focusing on our authentic self. Let's leap bravely into the uncertainties of life, caring less about what we can't control and more about living authentically and fully in the present. From the bustling streets of 19th century Denmark, our philosophical journey takes us east to ancient India, where Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, introduced a profound philosophy and path to spiritual enlightenment, Buddhism. Buddhism, a non-theistic tradition, offers a unique perspective on happiness, suffering, detachment, and the art of not caring about the transient and impermanent. Buddhism defines happiness differently than many Western philosophies. Instead of equating happiness with pleasure or the satisfaction of desires, Buddhism views true happiness as a deep, enduring state of well-being and contentment that arises from inner peace and wisdom. This happiness is independent of external circumstances and is accessible to everyone through mindfulness, ethical conduct, and understanding the nature of reality. Central to Buddhism is the Four Noble Truths, which outline the nature of suffering, its cause, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from tanha, or craving, an insatiable thirst for something other or more than what is. This craving is born from our ignorance of the true nature of reality, characterized by impermanence, dissatisfaction, and non-self. This brings us to the Buddhist principles of detachment and non-attachment, which are pivotal to understanding the art of not caring from a Buddhist perspective. Detachment in Buddhism does not mean indifference or avoidance of life's experiences. Instead, it's a deep understanding and acceptance of the impermanent nature of all phenomena. It's about not clinging to people, things, experiences, or even ideas, knowing that they are subject to change and dissolution. Non-attachment goes hand in hand with detachment. It is a state of freedom from the compulsive need to hold on to things, experiences, or ideas. When we practice non-attachment, we fully engage with life as it unfolds, experiencing joy, sadness, pleasure, and pain without being enslaved by these transient feelings. We learn to care deeply about life while not being bound by it. By not caring about impermanent things, we are not rejecting or devaluing them. Instead, we are learning to relate to them in a healthier way, experiencing them fully, appreciating them while they last, but not suffering when they change or vanish. This perspective, when applied to life, can lead to a profound inner peace and happiness. It helps us to enjoy the beauty of life's changing seasons without being swept away by the storms of craving, aversion, or delusion. The Buddha said, "You only lose what you cling to." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of Buddhist detachment and non-attachment. It invites us to let go, to stop caring excessively about that which is inherently transient and ungraspable. In doing so, we free ourselves from much of the self-inflicted suffering and open the door to a deeper, more enduring form of happiness. Buddhism, with its profound insights into the nature of reality and the human mind, offers valuable guidance on the art of not caring. By understanding and practicing the principles of detachment and non-attachment, we can learn to navigate life with greater peace, clarity, and freedom. As we continue our exploration, let us remember the Buddha's wisdom. Let us remember that everything is subject to change, and that by not clinging to transient things, we can attain a state of inner peace and enduring happiness. After all, isn't that what we're all striving for? Our philosophical exploration now leads us back to Europe, this time to Germany in the late 19th century, where we meet one of the most influential and controversial philosophers, Friedrich Nietzsche. Known for his critiques of traditional morality and his philosophy of life affirmation, Nietzsche provides us with a powerful lens through which to view the art of not caring. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of life affirmation, which he believed to be the highest state of being human. To affirm life, according to Nietzsche, is to embrace existence as it is, with all its contradictions, uncertainties, and challenges. It's about saying yes to life, not in a passive or resigned way, but with a sense of joy, curiosity, and creativity. This philosophy of life affirmation ties in closely with Nietzsche's views on societal norms and the art of not caring. Nietzsche believed that societal norms and traditional morality often hinder individuals from living fully and authentically. He criticized herd morality, the notion that good and bad are universally applicable to everyone. For Nietzsche, not caring about societal norms and traditional morality isn't about becoming indifferent or apathetic. Rather, it's about self-overcoming. a process through which individuals transcend their conditioned behaviors and beliefs to create their values. When we stop caring about societal expectations, we can begin to question, critique, and eventually overcome these imposed values. This allows us to become the authors of our moral code, defining what is meaningful, worthwhile, and fulfilling for us. Here, we encounter the concept of the Übermensch, often translated as the Overman or Superman. This concept represents Nietzsche's ideal individual who has successfully overcome themselves, creating their values and affirming life in all its complexity. The Übermensch embodies the principle of not caring about conventional morality, choosing instead to embrace life with all its chaos and uncertainty and to create their moral framework. Nietzsche wrote in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, "I teach you the Overman. Man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him?" These powerful words are a call to action. They challenge us to question, to strive, to create. They remind us of our capacity for self-overcoming, our potential to become who we truly are. So what does Nietzsche's philosophy offer in our quest to master the art of not caring? It invites us to reevaluate our relationship with societal norms and traditional morality. It encourages us not to care about these external expectations in a way that stifles our individuality, but instead to create our values and affirm life as it is. As we move forward in our exploration, let's remember Nietzsche's powerful ideas. Let's strive for self-overcoming, dare to create our values, and learn to affirm life in all its complexity. As we continue our philosophical journey, we now find ourselves immersed in the 20th century, in a world still grappling with the aftermath of two world wars, a world in which existentialism was born. This philosophical movement, characterized by its emphasis on individuality, freedom, and personal responsibility, offers a fresh perspective on living a happy and fulfilled life. Existentialism, with roots in the works of Søren Kierkegaard and Friedrich Nietzsche, came into its own with philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. Rejecting traditional philosophical categories, existentialism focuses on the individual, the concrete human being, as it grapples with anxiety, freedom, authenticity, and the absurd. At the heart of existentialism is the belief in the primacy of individual existence. As Sartre famously said, existence precedes essence, meaning that we first exist, and it's through our actions, choices, and experiences that we define who we are. This freedom to create ourselves is both empowering and daunting. It places the responsibility for our lives squarely on our shoulders, making us the authors of our destiny. Closely tied to this emphasis on individual freedom is the existentialist view on the absurdity of life. As articulated by Albert Camus in his works, life is inherently devoid of meaning, purpose, or order. It is absurd. This realization can lead to despair, or it can liberate us. By not caring about the absurdity, by accepting it, we are freed from the futile search for external meaning or validation. Instead, we can focus on creating our meaning, carving out our path in the face of the absurd. This theme is beautifully explored in Camus' myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus, condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill only to have it roll back down, embodies the human condition in the face of the absurd. But as Camus suggests, we must imagine Sisyphus happy. By not caring about the futility of his task, Sisyphus can find joy and meaning in the process itself, in his struggle and persistence. So, what do existentialist philosophers like Sartre and Camus offer us in our exploration? They remind us that we are free to choose, to act, to create our essence. They teach us that life is absurd, and by not caring about this absurdity, we can liberate ourselves from external validation and create our meaning. They urge us to embrace our freedom, to take responsibility for our lives, and to carve out our path in the face of the absurd. As we've journeyed through the rich tapestry of philosophy, from Stoicism to Buddhism, from Nietzsche to Sartre and Camus, we've delved deep into the theoretical realms of the art of not caring. Now let's translate this theoretical wisdom into concrete action. How can we apply these philosophical lessons in our day-to-day lives? What are some practical steps we can take? First and foremost, we need to identify the things that we truly care about. Reflect on the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. Separate the things in your life into those you can control and those you can't. The key is to focus our energies on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and learn to let go of the things outside our control. This simple act can drastically reduce unnecessary stress and anxiety, creating space for more joy, freedom, and fulfillment. This leads to our second point, embracing uncertainty. As Kierkegaard taught us, life is filled with uncertainties, and attempting to control or predict everything is not only futile, but can also lead to discontentment. By embracing uncertainty, by making that leap of faith, we can free ourselves from the fear and anxiety associated with the unknown. We start to see uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and transformation. The third step involves confronting societal expectations. As we learned from Epicurus, Nietzsche, and existentialism, societal norms and expectations can often hinder our authenticity and happiness. Reflect on these pressures in your own life. Do they align with your values and desires, or are they stifling your individuality? Not caring about these societal expectations doesn't mean neglecting your responsibilities or becoming indifferent. Instead, it's about reclaiming your freedom to choose your path, to define your values, to create your essence. The fourth step invites us to sit with the absurdity of life. Drawing on the wisdom of Camus, we can acknowledge the inherent absurdity and embrace it. Instead of searching for external meaning or validation, focus on creating your meaning. This could be through your relationships, your passions, your work, or your personal growth. Find joy in the process, in your Sisyphean struggle. While these steps can guide us in our journey, applying these steps is not without its challenges. It's a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, courage, and self-compassion. There might be moments of doubt, fear, or confusion. Remember that it's okay to feel these emotions. They are part of the human experience. Instead of resisting them, acknowledge them, learn from them, and let them guide you on your path. Now, you might be wondering, how can I put these ideas into practice right now? Well, mindfulness can be a powerful tool in this journey. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present, of paying attention to the here and now without judgment. It allows us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they are without getting caught up in them. Try this simple mindfulness technique. Take a few moments each day to sit in silence. Focus on your breath, on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. This practice can help you cultivate a sense of presence, acceptance, and non-attachment, key elements in the art of not caring. Remember, not caring isn't about indifference or neglect. It's about discerning what truly matters, about embracing life with all its uncertainties and absurdities, about creating our essence in the face of societal expectations. It's a journey, not a destination, one that requires courage, self-compassion, and a willingness to embrace the fullness of our human experience. As we arrive at the end of this exploration of the art of not caring, it's time to pause, reflect, and perhaps set the stage for what's next. We have embarked on a fascinating journey through time, from the Stoic sages of ancient Rome to the existentialist thinkers of the 20th century, exploring how these philosophical schools have approached the concept of not caring. We've explored the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control, learning that the path to tranquility and happiness lies in discerning what we can control from what we can't, and focusing our care and energy on the former. We delved into Epicurean philosophy, drawing insights from Epicurus' teachings on pleasure, desire, and the importance of not caring about societal expectations. We took a leap of faith with Kierkegaard, embracing the inherent uncertainties of life and understanding how not caring about certain outcomes can lead to a happier existence. We delved into the depths of Eastern philosophy, understanding how Buddhism's principles of detachment and non-attachment can help us let go of impermanent things, thereby leading to inner peace and happiness. Nietzsche pushed us to question societal norms, and through his life-affirming philosophy, taught us about the power of not caring about conforming to these norms in our journey towards self-overcoming. The existentialist philosophers, particularly Sartre and Camus, emphasized the absurdity of life and encouraged us to take responsibility for our own existence, reiterating how not caring about this inherent absurdity can lead to personal freedom. In the final section, we discussed how to apply these philosophical principles in daily life. We examined ways to identify what truly matters to us, how to embrace uncertainty, confront societal expectations, and sit with the absurdity of life. We also covered some potential challenges along the way and discussed a simple mindfulness technique to cultivate presence, acceptance, and non-attachment. However, this exploration is merely the beginning of your journey. The art of not caring is not a destination, but a lifelong practice, a path to follow. It requires patience, courage, and self-compassion. As you continue your exploration, remember to apply these philosophical insights to your own life, to discern what truly matters to you, and to not care about what doesn't serve your highest good. In the grand scheme of life, it's the lessons we learn, the insights we gain, and the people we touch that matter the most. So go forth and explore the art of not caring in your life. See what shifts it brings, what freedom it offers, what happiness it leads to. Remember, the journey towards not caring isn't about becoming indifferent or neglectful. It's about embracing your authenticity, reclaiming your freedom, and carving your path. It's about creating your essence in the face of societal expectations, uncertainties, and the inherent absurdity of life.
One pastor shared the following story that illustrates the devil's schemes and plans. One day in the deep pits of hell, the devil met with all of his demons to discuss how to keep the gospel away from people. They wanted to make a plan to get as many people as possible to pay attention to everything else but the gospel. One demon suggested that people should be told that there is no God. He doesn't exist. The devil thought about it and said, "There's too much evidence for that. It's going to work for a few who don't understand logic, but for the most part, people will believe that God exists." Another demon suggested that maybe we should tell people that Jesus Christ didn't exist. But the devil thought that there's a lot of evidence regarding the existence of Jesus. Some people will believe us, but many will know the truth. And then the third demon suggested, "Let's tell them that there is no eternity. There is no life after death." But the devil didn't think that would be strong enough to accomplish mass deception. The devil said, "What we'll do is this. We will tell people this message. You've got time. You've got time to repent. So keep sinning. You can get right with God later. You've got time to keep living however you want. You don't have to worry about God and turning your life around just yet. Do it tomorrow." And I believe this is why you go to some churches nowadays, and there is no message concerning repentance. They don't preach about the reality of hell. They only talk about heaven. It's a lukewarm gospel. A gospel that tells you that there is no rush to get right with the Lord. Do it tomorrow. But dear listener, you don't have time. We don't know what tomorrow holds for each of us. I was told a story of a man who was an atheist. He didn't believe there was a God for the majority of his life. At some point in his life, he was diagnosed with a terminal illness. And one day things got so bad that the doctors told his wife to prepare for the worst. His wife was there by his side, and she brought up the subject of life after death. She told him to consider giving his life to Jesus Christ one last time, so that should he be taken away, he would go to be with the Lord in heaven. Thankfully, he accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and that night, just like the thief who was next to Jesus on the cross, he went to paradise to be with the Lord. Dear friend, you may not have the same ending to this life, so you need to always be ready. Always be right with God.
There's an old fable that took place during the Trojan War. This is the fictional story of the Trojan horse. During the Trojan War, which happened around the 12th century BC, the Greeks tried to gain access to Troy. It was very difficult to enter a city at this time, as giant walls were surrounding almost every city. To get into the city, the Greeks created a massive wooden horse. The inside was hollow, which allowed the Greek army to hide in the horse. They presented the horse as a gift to the city of Troy. The horse was accepted by the Trojans, and they brought it inside the city of Troy. After hiding in the horse for a few hours, the Greek army emerged from the horse at night and took siege of Troy. What seemed to be a good thing for the people of Troy ended up leading to their downfall. Satan does the same thing in our life. He will use things that are good or even morally neutral. However, these things are sometimes designed by Satan to be a Trojan horse and lead to our downfall. When we think of the work of Satan, we often think of him directly tempting us to sin. We think he simply tempts us directly to be prideful or to fall into sexual immorality. Satan is much more deceptive than that. He presents something as a good gift that ultimately leads to our downfall. We see this tactic from the very beginning. In the book of Genesis, God gives Adam and Eve one rule. That rule is not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. However, Satan is trying to deceive them into eating from the tree. Satan doesn't say, eat from the tree to join the dark side, or eat this fruit so you can be evil like me. He presents eating the fruit as a good gift. Genesis 3, verse 4 to 5 says, "But the serpent said to the woman, 'You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.'" He presented the fruit as a gift that would open their eyes. It was a gift that would make them like God. He described the sin as something that would lead to life. However, when Adam and Eve ate the fruit, it led to them being kicked out of the garden. Satan will take bad things and dress them up like a Trojan horse to make you think they are a good gift. The devil not only dresses up bad things to make them look good, but he uses good things to get the bad out of you. The devil will often seek to enter our lives as something good, such as a hobby or activity. For example, maybe you set up lunch with a coworker. That's not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, it can even be a good thing. However, Satan can use lunch breaks between male and female coworkers to lead to evil. This can open the door to adultery. While there's nothing wrong with two people eating lunch, Satan can use that for his evil purposes. Satan will do the same thing with entertainment. God allows us to make movies and music so it would lead to the worship of him. There's nothing wrong with watching movies and listening to music. However, movies with sexually stimulating imagery or music with sexually seductive lyrics can open the door to pornography or sexual immorality. Satan will dress up movies and music as a Trojan horse, but then will attack when we let him in the front door. We often make the mistake of taking good things and making them a God thing. We lift up the good things that God has made and make them ultimate things in our life. Satan has won the battle when we do that. For example, socializing is a great thing. God created us to be people who desire relationships. It is a good gift from God. The problem becomes when we make this good thing an ultimate thing and replace God. When those friends we socialize with take the place of God, we have a problem. When we spend more and more time with them and less time with God, we have made a good thing a God thing. We have put His good gift in the place of God. Another example of this is food. Food is a great gift from God. However, we should not live a life of continual excess. While there are appointed times to feast, our lifestyle should not be one of continual feasting. When we constantly overeat, we are taking something God meant for good and using it for evil. This is gluttony, and Satan is satisfied with this because his Trojan horse worked. Computer software started to be developed in the 20th century. At the same time, people created computer viruses that would attack this software. The name of these viruses were often called Trojan horses. The viruses looked like they belonged in the software, but would eventually attack the software and try to destroy it. The Trojan horses would damage or disrupt a computer's programming or try to steal personal information. Satan is trying to do the same thing in your life as we speak. He is dressing up Trojan horses that look like a good gift from God, but this will lead to sin in your life. Sometimes the devil will dress up something that appears to be harmless. He may well dress up sin to appear harmless. But at the end of the day, that thing is straight from the pits of hell and designed to destroy you. That is why we must be aware and ready for the attack. What would have happened if the people of Troy had investigated the Trojan horse before bringing it into the city walls? They would have found the Greek army inside and prevented the destruction of their city. We should take heed and learn from the city of Troy. We must always be alert to prevent Satan from destroying our lives.
Today, I'd like to remind you that time is short. Life is short. We only have a set number of days on this earth. Now, there is a passage of scripture that puts this into perspective. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 to 8 reads, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to tear, and a time to sow. A time to keep silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace." There is a time for everything on this earth. Nothing on this side of heaven lasts forever. Good times don't last forever, but the joy of the Lord is your strength when you believe in Jesus Christ. Equally, bad times, tough times, don't last forever because the Word of God has promised us that joy comes in the morning. So with this in mind, my message is simple. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until there's not enough time. While you're still breathing, while you're still able-bodied, while you still can,